You've been regional administrator for the EPA since January 1, but you must previously have formulated some opinions on one of the most important problems to be tackled, and also your game plan, if I may say. I'd like to ask a question flat out. Do you believe the President is supporting Ruckelshaus?
Yes, I do.
And what evidence do you have to support that?
Bill Ruckelshaus' own testimony.
Well, he's a very loyal man.
I also think he's a very honest man.
Well, that's true, too, yeah. I'm not about to disagree with you there. I'm a great admirer of Mr. Ruckelshaus.
It's mutual.
If it's true, it certainly doesn't redound to the dignity of this great sovereign state of Texas, which is the Clear Water Bill, which has a clause in it insisted upon by the leaders of the state of Texas, which eliminates oil pollution or oil spillage and so forth from being called pollution, thereby removing it from the jurisdiction of the EPA and their business of enforcement. And the weight of the presidential office was not put against that when fought it. And I was curious as to whether anybody has any positive contributions as to the president's support of Russell Train and Bill Ruckelshaus.
Well, first of all, he didn't need to constitute either of these agencies. They both are products of his administration. As one who's been in this field for some 25 years, I talked to this group last night about the problems we had before EPA was formed. Well, there's no perfect solution in our country, particularly with the political system, but there is progress being made. Now, we're not going to get everything just as we want it the first time around, but the fact that people like Bill Ruckelshaus are involved in this agency, and if I may say so, the reason that I'm involved in this agency is because I believe we can get something done.
What do you think of the Secretary Stans of Commerce and his speech, "Wait a minute," which put pressure on Ruckelshaus and even some publicity about his resignation, which could emasculate a good deal of his good work, his efforts?
Well, again, I think they're different. I know there are differences of opinion, and I'm willing to believe until proven otherwise that they are honest differences of opinion.
But it's been found, I think, in the Brookhaven experiments that DDT in laboratory experiments interferes with the ability of algae in the conversion process from carbon dioxide to oxygen. And I don't know degrees or figures, but I do know that oxygen from algae is responsible for 70% of the oxygen supply in the Earth. All right, and the government is still sitting around looking for more evidence, hopefully to find some that DDT isn't harmful. I would suggest that the government would take a more conservative attitude and say, look, stop using it now and let's wait, and then maybe we'll use it again in 5 years if we find out this is not harmful.
That's a tough decision.
Well, there are substitutes for DDT in this country.
Bill's position, because there's no more honest man than him, and he's just doing the best he can with the evidence that he gets. And if he calls it this way, that's the way he sees it, and I could be wrong too, but I believe DDT is one of the greatest killers that we've ever had.